Hi everyone, and thank you so much for watching my channel, The Witty Turtle. In the last video, we completed section 37, right? So in section 37, we studied that to claim general deduction under section 37, three conditions must be satisfied. What is the first condition? It must be a revenue expenditure. The second condition says that the expenditure must be incurred for the purpose of business or profession. And the third condition says that it should not be illegal in nature, right? It means it has to be legal, it has to be lawful in nature, right? So there were many confusions regarding this. So in the Finance Act 2022, one explanation was added, which cleared out all the confusions regarding the legality or the illegality of the expenditure incurred under section 37, right? So the first point says that uh, anything which is an offense, which is considered as an offense, or which is prohibited by any law which is in the force for the time being in India or outside India, right? In India or outside India, during this particular time, if any law which is being in force, if that particular expenditure is considered as your offense, or it is prohibited under any law, then it is considered as illegal in nature, right? So the next point provides clarification regarding the gifts or benefits which the pharmaceutical companies give to the medical practitioners. So whether it is legal or illegal, the next point speaks about that. So in the last class, I told you about this particular example, right? इसमें क्या था? If any pharmaceutical company or allied health sector industry is providing any kind of perquisites or any kind of gifts to the medical practitioners, then it is not allowed, or it is the violation of Indian Medical Council Regulation 2002, right? So this particular second point again speaks about the very same thing: to provide any kind of benefit or any kind of perquisites to any person, whether he is carrying out any business or not. In that case, if that other person, yani ki, if that medical practitioner is accepting those gifts, right, is accepting those gifts, and by his acceptance, if it is violating any kind of law, any kind of rules, any kind of regulations um, in our country, which is being in force in this particular time, so that is again considered as illegal in nature, right? It will be illegal expenses. It says that to provide any benefit or perquisite in whatever form to a person, whether or not carrying on a business or profession, and acceptance of such benefit or perquisite by such person, yani ki by that medical practitioner, is in violation of any law, rule, regulation, or guideline for the time being in force governing the conduct of such person, right? So that will also be considered as illegal. Now, the third point says that to compound an offense under any law for the time being in force in India or outside India, right? So, here, compounding of offense means that, for example, you have committed an offense under any law, right? But the judicial authority told you that by paying certain amount of penalty or by paying certain amount of money, you can convert that into uh, like you can rectify your mistake, right? So that is known as compounding of offense. For example, you are a builder and you're building an apartment, and whatever area you have the permission to build the buildings in 70% of the area. But while building the buildings, you acquired around 90% of the given area, right? So this is prohibited under the law, or you have simply violated the bylaws of your company or the agreements, right? So in this case, what happens? The judicial authority might ask you to pay a certain sum of penalty, and after that, this will not be considered as an offense, right? So that process is known as your offense of compounding of offense, right? So whatever amount of penalty you are paying to compound an offense, right, that will again be considered as illegal under section 37, right? So the three things which we studied today is that The first point is that any thing which is an offense or prohibited under any law in India or outside India in the time being forced. Um, and the second point says that any kind of gifts or your benefits or perquisites paid to any person, whether he is carrying out any business or not, business or profession or not, and the acceptance of such gifts by that person, if it is a violation of any kind of act, rule, law, regulation, or guidelines, then in that case it will be considered illegal. And the third point says what? To compound an offense, whether committed in India, whether in India or outside India, in the time being forced. So what happens in that case? Again, it will be considered as illegal, right? So this is a small amendment which you need to take care of.